Hello, and welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is a podcast about reality TV and friendship. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I talk about a certain reality television show with my best friend. He hates pineapples on pizza, Thomas Powell. Hey Thomas, how you doing?
Hey, I'm glad you pointed out my pizza preferences. Pineapple is trash. I'm more of a pepperoni and black olives guy.
That's a good choice. I think pepperoni is probably your number one go-to for pizza toppings. Pepperoni and mushrooms really good.
I'm just not, if I'm gonna get mushrooms on pizza, I'm not a big fan of it to begin with, but canned mushrooms are a no-go for me.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. I do not I like onions on most food. I do not like onions on pizza, though.
Oh, see, I'll fuck up a pizza with some onions on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's not stopping me.
I think it's too much. It's too jarring a difference in texture between the cheese and the dough and the onions. You know what I mean?
No, I
got
don't.
On a sandwich, with some peppers and the meat and the cheese and the mayo, and it all comes together nicely. An onion, it's a little, I don't know. There's just something wrong with it. Tomatoes too. I don't like tomatoes on pizza. It's too big.
No, tomatoes I will not put on pizza.
I love tomatoes.
There's already sauce on pizza.
Yeah,
Why do you need
it's
tomatoes?
redundant. My favorite pizza, though, Alfredo sauce, chicken, spinach. That's a good pizza right there.
I'm not a fan of Alfredo sauce on pizza.
It's good because you don't have it all the time. You know? Everybody's like, oh, tomato marinara. Try some Alfredo once in a while.
No, I won't.
Okay, fine. I have a different question for you.
Sure.
Did you watch Survivor last night?
I did.
Good stuff. This week's episode was called The Circle of Life, which was a quote from Ty, and also the name of a song from The Lion King.
I was going to say, excuse me, it was a quote from The Lion King.
Simba came on screen. It was The Circle of... Was it Simba who sang that song? Or
no,
was it
because
a different
Simba
character?
was a baby being held up when that song was playing, but,
Who sang that song, then?
I believe, a choir sang that song, and...
Probably Seal.
Sure, yeah, Seal sang it. Recording superstar. International recording artist, Seal. And then Rafiki held up Simba. And was like, boy, I wish this was Kiss from a Rose.
Wasn't Seal on some Disney movie soundtrack?
Yes, the Disney movie Kiss from a Rose. starring Heidi Klum.
It was the sequel to Beauty and the Beast, in which every time they kissed, the rose grew another petal.
Yeah, and every time they went in to kiss, you would just hear.
That's two. We've done 2 seasons of Survivor so far, and 2 seasons of Survivor in which we've talked about Disney movies. Although this might be the second episode in a row where we've talked about Disney movies.
I have no recollection of this, but whatever.
Yeah, we talked about Disney movies. We talked about Beauty and the Beast. Good movie. Beauty and the Beast, only movie, or first movie to ever be nominated, first animated movie to ever be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Did you know that?
I did not. I know that now. I think
it's an interesting fact.
I assume it didn't win.
I don't think so. I think it was up against, Silence of the Lambs or something. I don't know. So, in this episode, we start off at the Braun tribe, and Scott admits to Alicia that he was the other person to vote for her in tribal council, and she's, all offended. Why would you do that? But also, good question. Why would he do that if he knew the other person was going home?
No, he was, he was pretty straightforward about that, though. He was like...
Yeah.
He was like, I was just, loyal to Jen, and I knew that she wasn't going to have the votes, so I just didn't want to vote for her because I told her that I wasn't going to vote for her.
But who cares? she's not going on the jury. So if you write her name down, she has no way of knowing that until the episode airs.
Scott's loyal, Jake. It's that kind of loyalty that.
But like, that's gonna come.
That allowed him to play 10 years in the NBA.
It doesn't make sense though. Like, Alicia won't be mad at you if you write down what's her name's name. I already forgot her name. Jen, yeah. Jen's not gonna care. It's like, what are you doing? It's like when Bananas voted in Nani in the last season of the challenge. Like, why? It doesn't make any sense.
I just think, it wasn't, the smartest thing to do, but I also think that she, made a big deal. At least she should have made a big deal about it, and it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. It doesn't come up again throughout the entire episode.
No, it doesn't.
So I don't know why we're dedicating so much time to it. Back over on the Beauty Tribe. Oh, who's your favorite tribe so far?
I think probably the Beauty Tribe.
Yeah, they seem like the least awful. Mm-hmm. The Brain Tribe is just a bunch of annoying people.
They're all trying to play like a Spencer game, so they're all being like,
yeah,
I'm smarter than everyone, and look how conniving I am, and like that kind of, and it just, I mean, it's not a way that you're gonna like anybody. I think once that tribe's broken up, I might like some of the people on it individually, but as a unit, they're pretty insufferable.
That is correct. Yeah, Beauty Tribe is definitely my favorite too. So Ty goes to look for the idol again, and he needs the tool to get this key out of the tree, but he lost it, so he has to make a new one out of some sticks. Which, he made this tool pretty easily. I don't think they needed to provide him with a tool when all you had to do was poke a thing through a hole. It was just a stick. Why did you need to give him this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
We had two different people make the tool because the tool, they didn't have it for this. So at a certain point, it's maybe this isn't a necessary part of your idol thing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they bring this back in future seasons. Yeah, I like that they're making getting the idol more difficult with each season. Because originally it was just hey, the idol is here. Try to solve this really simple riddle, and you got it. And then somebody was really good at finding idols, so they're okay, we need to make this harder. So they made the riddles harder, and then they didn't give them riddles, and then they did that thing they did last season, and now they're doing this thing. So it's interesting. If you'd been watching since the beginning.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I eventually they're with the hidden immunity idols. They're just gonna be getting sent to 7 different locations where it's
yeah,
the idol is buried beneath this tree.
Here's
a clue to find the tool for it. It'd be the tool's not here, but you do have to go a half mile over here to find it. It's joke's on you. Tool's not here. Better go over here.
Do you want to hear my idea for the hidden immunity idol in future seasons to make it even more difficult? So this is what would be cool. They have an idol specific for each tribe. You know how each idol is just hey, it's an idol, here you go. They have an idol specific for each tribe, and then the idol is in a different tribe's camp. So you'll find the clue in your camp and then be oh, we have to go to To Long's camp to get this idol, and you have to wander into the enemy's camp, and to find this thing. Or the enemy finds it, and they have to make a trade with you. I think it's a pretty good idea. Email me, Jeff Probst. We can talk about it.
I think it's really only a matter of time before your pal Jeff Probst emails you about this.
That email again is didyouwatchlastnight@gmail.com.
Have we still not gotten a single email?
I am going to assume that we have gotten at least one email, but I forgot to check it before we started recording. So
Well,
we might just be getting flooded with emails from our pal Jeff Probst.
Thank you, Jeff Probst, for sending in that email. Sorry
Yeah.
we didn't get to it on this episode.
It's just we had to cover so much.
You know how it is.
You get it. You've got your own podcast, probably. So Ty gets the idol, and he gets a little paper that says if the idol is combined with another idol, it creates the super idol, which can be used after the votes have been read, which is a lot of power.
That
but
is
also,
a lot of power, but I think I would probably rather just have 2 regular immunity idols.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they're gonna bring this in, because the 2 idols isn't gonna be a factor until after the merge, probably. So is he just expected to hold on to that until then?
Yes.
Okay. I guess it's cool that you have like some variety, some options of what you can do with the idol. Like you can either play it for yourself or hold on to it and play it later. I don't know. It's just I don't know how this is going to play out. Because, like, you have to work with someone else to get an idol, or find 2 idols, which is rare. Or if you work with someone else, then the chances of you getting voted out, I don't know. I guess it'll happen when it happens. We don't need to worry about it now. Yeah. All right. So the Brain Tribe, right? They're the president, the Dr. President. And
sorry, it's just Dr. President. That's his name.
Dr. President and Liz believe that they are in control, and they are most worried about Neil winning the game. This is episode 3, and they're worried that Neil is going to win. Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, yeah, it's not a bad judgment. It's just a little short-sighted, because you need to worry more about, like, winning elimination challenges right now.
Yeah.
And it's weird that he's going to be their target when someone like Debbie, who kind of directly lost them the challenge this week, is around, and you're going to target someone for the end already.
Yeah.
Cart before the horse there.
Yeah, they're all playing too hard for so early in this game. Like, at this point, you gotta be just killing it in challenges. But I mean, I get where they're coming from.
Well, they
like,
all have to prove how smart they are. Like, that's one of the problems with this team.
Yeah.
They're all like, check out how smart we are. There's going to be a million blindsides and a million moves, and we're all going to, like, I'm going to be the one that manipulates everyone. And it's, if you have a team full of people like that, it's just chaos.
Keep talking.
I'll stall for you so you can pour your coffee, you fuck.
Thank you, I appreciate that. That's some damn good coffee. I'm keeping this all in.
Yeah, no, don't. This is gold. Don't edit around this.
This is what makes a podcast a podcast. Where were we? President, Doctor, and Liz believe that they're in control.
Dr. President, we went over this.
Oh, jeez, Pete's. So the President, Dr. President, and Liz believe they're in control because they're the most attractive people.
I mean, they're not wrong, but...
That's true. They're most worried about Neil. Debbie, who up until this point was everybody's least favorite, she does some maneuvering this season, or this episode. So, you know, my opinion on the Deb monster, which is what I'm calling her now. Mm-hmm. We've got Dr. President. I'm so sorry, sir. I will vote for you 2 times in the next election for Surgeon General. Debbie says that her job is to observe, shut up, and gather intel, which she's been good at one of those things and real bad at another one. So she tells Joseph, Grandpa Joe, that she wants Liz gone. and wants to pull in Aubrey and Neil over to their side. She has an interesting quote in which she says, "No one really pays attention to me, which is exactly what I want." Was this her strategy all along? To be this weirdo, poor social game kind of player, so that people... I don't know.
As a decoy. She's a Trojan horse.
Oh. Yeah. Back to the beauty tribe. They decide to kill a chicken. Ty loves all living things. So he's not a huge fan of this idea, but you understand, it's necessary, so let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Caleb is very nice.
What's the name of the fucking robot on that team? That is
Nick?
Nick is revealed to be like a weird sociopath.
Yeah, Nick says that he doesn't have emotions because it's... What was his reason? It's too much work or something? Or it's unnecessary?
Yeah, and he's like, I just don't really understand them. It's just like Dennis being like, I just feel like I had emotions the other day. Like a teenager.
Are you telling me you don't have emotions? I haven't watched that show in a long time. Is it still good?
Yeah, it's still really good. You should check it out. Even the most recent couple seasons are really good.
Okay.
But yeah, Nick is a weird psycho, and
yeah, I don't like him.
He doesn't feel things, and he has a weird fake smile.
You think you're so great because you have all the powers? Siler can just collect all the powers, so he's just as good as you. And he's a more interesting character.
You were never
and he went on to be on American Horror Story.
Nick, you were never a good enough match for Rory. Jared Padalecki was always better.
Was that dude on that show?
Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls. I was going to say Supernatural.
No.
Which is a different show that he's on. Anna doesn't trust Nick and goes to Caleb about voting him out. Cool. Honestly, I could not tell you what Anna looks like. A girl? She's a girl? That's about all I know about her. Anna, and there's another girl on the beauty tribe who I'm just like, you are a person who has a name, yes.
Yeah, neither of them have really done much yet. They haven't distinguished themselves.
Yeah. Also, it's still early in the game, so that's understandable.
Yeah. Well, it's early in the game, and it's easy to get lost when the other three personalities in your tribe are so big. Like, Ty is a really big personality. What's the country guy?
Caleb?
Caleb, yeah. Caleb.
The dude from Big Brother?
Yeah, Big Brother Caleb is very distinctive, and Nick is a terrifying robot person. So I think it's easy to get lost in the shuffle there.
Also, especially on the beauty tribe, is all the women on that tribe have kind of been lumped in as one unit, as the Girls Alliance, which hasn't really come into play yet because they haven't had to go to tribal council, but whenever any one of them is referred to, they are referred to as the collective Girls Alliance. So it's easy to confuse any one of them with any other one of them.
Yeah. Which one do you think's Lena Dunham, and which one do you think is Allison Williams?
Lena Dunham is Anna, and Allison Williams is Katie? Is that one of them?
Which one is the Marnie, though? That's what I want to know.
Well, they're all super pretty because they're on the beauty tribe, and that's her. I haven't watched that show in like a year and a half. Is that it's in the new season just started, and apparently it's good again.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that show. I just thought it would be, just thought maybe it'd be a funny premise for a joke, but
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go. Let's try it again.
Look, we can edit around this. We can workshop it. We can get something.
Over on the Braun tribe, Alicia is... I don't know how this happened, but she's on top now. She's in control of this tribe? I don't understand the politics of this at all. Scott realizes that she's in charge, though, so he goes to look for the idol. And then, out of nowhere, Alicia finds the clue. I don't understand how that happened. Like, Scott was just, rummaging around the jungle... And then the camera cuts to Alicia finding the clue, and it's like, I didn't even know you were looking for that. I don't know. It was a weird... This whole segment was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. Just a lot of people scrambling around, falling all over each other, trying to get the idol.
Yeah, it was also weird. From an editing or direction standpoint, because there was a lot of just like the camera spinning around because there was so much happening, and they didn't really cut it all together like they normally would. Yeah.
If I had to describe this segment in that one GIF, it would be that one of a chicken running away really fast, where the camera follows it out the door, because that's what Jason did when he was running to go get the idol.
He was running like a chicken with his head. Oh, never mind. Forget I said that.
Oh boy, you're fired.
Yeah,
Get outta here.
Understandable. I don't even want an exit interview.
Do
you get an exit?
We will not need you for any future podcasts. You're done here.
That's fine. So Alicia and Sydney are digging for the idol, and Jason like sees them doing it, and is like, "All right, noted." And then Alicia goes to look for a hoe so they can dig out the idol more easily, which Sydney takes that time to dig further to find the idol herself, until she finds the lock and has to cover it up again when Alicia comes back. She then, Sydney, who is my favorite, by the way,
Yeah.
she tells Jason and Scott, and then Jason takes this information he's received from Sydney and goes to look for the idol himself because, in his words, I am possibly one of the best bounty hunters in Southeast Michigan. That's such a specific thing.
Yeah, it is. Are there like a lot of bounty hunters there? What if there's
Yeah.
What if there's only 2? Then you are possibly one of the best.
And also possibly one of the worst. It's weird. Like, not even in the entire state. Not even in the entire lower peninsula. Like, in one corner of the state, which isn't even the big... Like, it's a big state. It's not the biggest state.
This isn't
And
Texas.
then he's not even...
This isn't California.
He's not even saying he's the best one. He's possibly one of the best ones.
He's thrown out some qualifiers. It's not just that he's possibly the best, it's that he's possibly one of the best.
Yeah. He's like, look, I gotta give it to my competition.
Like,
They're pretty good too.
He's like, there's a decent chance I'm top 5.
I mean, who's to say?
Top 5 in Southeast Michigan. Let's not go crazy here. We're not talking about nationally.
Usually when somebody says something like that, it's like, I'm the best bounty hunter in all of the Midwest.
Who's going to call
like that's
him
a
on
fine
it? Like, is
the
bounty hunter going to get dropped onto the island and be like, no, it's me?
He's I think he's based in Hawaii, right? Which is weird to me because it's like, how many bounties do you have to hunt in Hawaii?
He'd also get dropped in and be like, also, I'm super racist. It's me, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
What if Donald Trump picks Dog the Bounty Hunter to be his running mate?
That would not surprise me at all.
I would vote 100 times for that.
No, you wouldn't. Don't do that to our country. Dog, they're both so terrible. Dog the Bounty Hunter is worse than Donald Trump, if you can imagine that.
They could call it Doggled Trump.
Doggled the bounty Trumper. No, it would be like, this man is my running mate. He will hunt down all of the illegal aliens and send them back over the border, and then we'll get Mexico to pay for it. He'll have to pay his retainer fees.
So Jason finds the clue, but by the time he finds the clue, everybody's caught up to him. So it's a team effort? I don't know. Scott and Jason make a tool to get the key out of the container up in the tree. Jason mentions it's nice to have an NBA player on your side, especially a center. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which first, from Scott's perspective, like, oh cool, you just got an idol for someone else. Like, fun.
Yeah. Alicia says that she now trusts no one on her tribe. I don't know why she ever did.
Yeah, the people that have consistently tried to vote you off, like,
yeah.
Oh, now I don't trust them.
I trust Sydney because we're both girls. Okay. Scott says, this made me nervous for Scott's well-being. He says he's pretty confident
No,
that Jason will protect him if he needs to.
Scott, don't do this to yourself.
You should never say you're confident.
I like you, and I want Jason to be gone.
Maybe they'll be like, oh, hey, we're all gonna vote for Scott. And Jason will be like, oh no, I should give Scott my idol. And then Scott plays the idol, and then it's actually, they're all voting for Jason. Now there's a game, there's a play.
That would be really great, but Jason is not going to give anyone else that idol.
Yeah, you're probably right. So then we get into the challenge. They have to maneuver 3 big bags of rice through some obstacles, and then open the bags and move 3 balls up a platform, and the platform has, like, holes of various sizes in it.
Yeah, there's you have 2 little levers that are pulling this little it's like a little holder for it that's being lifted up by strings. It was pretty cool. This is a cool challenge.
It was cool. Yeah, it looked like Survivor's version of a Price is Right game.
Yeah, no, I was just imagining those guys running down to the challenge with playing. Also, Jeff Probst hosting Family Feud would be fantastic.
Dude, the other night I watched
Family Feud, Price is Right.
Okay, but we're gonna talk about Family Feud now, though.
Him hosting Family Feud would be better than him hosting Price is Right.
I watched 4 or 5 episodes of Family Feud the other night, and it was great. That's just what my nighttime activity was, watching Family Feud. You know, some people go out to a bar, hang out with friends. Nope, not me. I watched a bunch of episodes of Family Feud.
Green family. These are 5 things you find in the back of your refrigerator.
I watched a couple episodes of that Celebrity Family Feud they did, and Niecy Nash was on with her family, which, by the way, I thought Celebrity Family Feud was going to be like, oh, hey, these families are the cast of a certain TV show. No, it was one celebrity and their family. So it's no different than regular Family Feud.
They've done, I know they've done things where it's a cast of a television show versus another one, which is that's way more fun than just a celebrity's family.
Yeah. Because those people know how to be on TV. Niecy Nash obviously was great. The rest of her family was really quiet and not interesting at all. I don't know. He's just
at least get a showbiz.
Be better.
Get the Smiths on. Get Jaden on there. What'll he say?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Probably something fake deep.
Yeah. You ever think about how eyes are really beautiful, and that's because our soul is beautiful, and that's what I think about when I mow the lawn. Good.
Oh yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
Jaden mows his own lawn.
I forgot that he's not a real teenager.
No. Also, he'd say something
as a teenager.
He'd say something super woke, or he would say something like, "Do you ever think that maybe we see, we just have the same names for colors, but we actually see different colors." And also,
dust in the wind.
And also, it's because of fluoride in the water.
Yeah, cool, Jaden. Again, the question was, what's the most common total at the grocery store checkout? I don't know how you got on this topic. That would be a terrible Family Feud question, by the way.
Yeah, it would.
There's a lot of Family Feud clips on YouTube. I would say check them all out. They're all great.
There's no reason to discern between any of them. They're all going to get you where you need to go.
And the great thing about YouTube is, once you watch one Family Feud video, it's here's all the Family Feud videos recommended for you. Yeah, and you just keep clicking them.
You've popped, and now you can't stop.
There was this great clip. I think it's pretty popular. The question was what are some other names for mother? So the names are Mom, Mommy, Mama. But this one woman, just pronounced Mommy 3 different ways. And Steve Harvey was not having it. He was like, what are you doing?
I bet he made some faces.
He made a lot of faces. He did some impressions. It was great. At one point, he went to the audience and said, look, we're gonna cut a lot of this out. We're gonna maybe cut it down to 1 or 2 mames. and that's going to be it. But it went on for like 15. minutes. I had
like
no
how,
idea
mad
that it was
and combative he gets. Where he's just like,
it's really,
he
yeah.
like seriously will be like, "What the hell?" If someone says something that's like a little off, he'll be like, "Why would you think that was the right answer?" I'm Steve Harvey, and I am incredulous.
Steve Harvey cares about good gameplay in Family Feud as much as Jeff Probst or TJ Lavin does on Survivor Challenge. And I love it.
The difference is that he is a trash person. Yes. No, Steve Harvey
is he?
Yes.
Is he awful?
He has like really regressive sexist ideas about men and women.
Wow, what a surprise. Didn't he make that movie that was like, What Men Are Like, or what was that called?
He wrote a book called Think Like a Man, and then they made
a
movie out of Think Like a Man, where
starring
the
Kevin
characters are
Hart.
constantly referencing the book Think Like a Man in the movie.
Oh, very meta. Did you know, speaking of meta movies like that, did you know that the Bewitched movie with Will Ferrell was like about them rebooting the Bewitched TV show?
But she's also like actually a witch.
She's
like,
actually been an actual witch, yeah.
They hired a witch for the reboot of Bewitched, yeah. That's
Weird.
a very
now I want to watch it.
No, it's a very mid-2000s like movie idea for like a reboot title that they had.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible idea. If you're going to do something like that, you might as well make it meta, because at least then it's somewhat interesting. But yeah, definitely unnecessary. So anyway, the challenge, they do that thing with the balls, and then there's like 3 holders for the balls at the top of the platform, and they have to place the 3 balls in the holes, and
they have to put balls in holes, and then they win.
Mm-hmm. The winners get either comfort items, which is like blankets and pillows and all that, or they get emotional items, which is like things to remind them of home. Okay.
I assume gave, like, at the beginning, where they're like, oh, this is what I want to get for this. So it was like, people, like, there were a couple stuffed animals that I assume belonged to people's kids, and, like a note or something, like, just stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's something they did a lot in early seasons, and they haven't really done that much in recent seasons. So I guess it was nice to see them bring it back, but also kind of pointless.
I mean, it was obvious what the winner was going to choose there.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to pick the comfort items.
Yeah. So the challenge is just like every other challenge. Beauty takes first place, and then Brawn and Brain each come down to their final ball up the platform thing.
This one got tense. This was like these were like dead even. As I've seen a challenge.
Yeah. So it's Sydney versus Debbie. They're neck and neck, getting their last ball up the platform, and Sydney gets hers in like 3 seconds before Debbie. So Braun actually wins an immunity
Braun tried to freak out. It was great.
Oh my god! They do like this amazing 4-person hug all surrounding Scott because he's 7 feet tall. It was great. I was really happy for them.
I was too. Good for you, Braun Tribe.
Yeah, I'm happy for you guys. The beauty, they take the comfort items, so Braun gets the emotional items, and Jason gets a little teddy bear, like a little green Lucky Charm teddy bear, like, yeah, I'm a tough guy, but I got a soft side, you know? You get it.
Yeah.
Winners at it.
I assume it belonged to one of his kids.
Yeah, probably. Or it was his own, since he was like 3 years old. So Dr. President says it's no problem that they lost because he and Liz are going to go down the list like the mob, and Neil is first. Okay, great plan. Hope it works out for you guys.
I have to say, Dr. President and Liz were very confident.
They were indeed confident in their plan. Their plan was to split the vote between Neil and Aubrey in case one of them has a hidden immunity idol. Great plan. So each of them gets 2 votes, assuming you get the old people in with you. But that still means that Neil and Aubrey will have 2 votes coming from their side. So it's going to come down to 2 and 2. This wasn't... For as much as they talked about how great this plan was and how well thought out this plan was supposedly, it didn't make any sense.
No, I mean, it made sense, initially, because the vote is split 3 ways, and so if you get a revote, then the people it's split between can't vote, which is what ends up happening. But, their plan is so complicated that if any kind of wrench gets thrown into it, it's gonna explode. There's not, it's so easy to mess with the plan that they're instrumenting.
I suppose, had someone had a hidden immunity idol, the 2-on-2 would have saved the person from Neil and Liz's, not Neil and Liz's, President, or Dr. President and Liz's alliance. So I get that, but
it's also a little too early to be planning around that sort of thing. All of the strategies that they're implementing are for several weeks later into the game. There's no reason in week 3 that you should be doing this stuff.
Yeah. So Liz goes up to Debbie and tells her the plan, and Debbie, very smart, says, yeah, totally, we're on the same page. We do not need to talk about this anymore. You've got my back, I've got yours. Nice little lie by Debbie.
Not being entirely truthful.
Oh. A nice little outwit. That was the outwitting.
Well, yeah, you gotta outwit if you want to outlast.
And, I mean, you gotta outplay 100% of the time.
I'm not gonna tell you don't have to outplay, because you gotta.
You gotta outplay. Gotta give 110%, because everybody else is only giving 100%, because that's all that's physically possible. You gotta give 110. You outplay. So immediately Debbie goes to tell Neil the plan that Dr. President and Liz have. Dr. President says that he is still supremely confident in their plan, even though Liz and I are good-looking people and have nice smiles. We're out for blood.
This was a weird thing to say.
And then, as if that wasn't weird enough, he said they need parental direction. What? Why did you say that? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to be that paternal figure or whatever. It's like, Dr. President, you need to...
You're not the real president. No. You're not my real dad.
You're not my real Dr. Dad. No. The thing is, because Liz never really had Debbie or whatever, but I think Peter screwed this up more than anybody else did.
Yeah.
Because he has, a weird, shitty attitude, whereas Liz is, actually trying to interact with people in a normal way.
Yeah, he's a very, machismo, Mr. Person. Is that an apt description? Those words I just said?
I will say that I will be very disappointed if you don't call this episode Machismo, Mr. Person.
Well, now I have to.
So I guess Neil, because they tell Aubrey, right, about what they're doing?
Yeah, Aubrey gets word of the plan and says that Dr. President doesn't have emotional intelligence. Oh, Aubrey, look at you, you're so smart.
Yeah, so they tell Neil, Neil gets the heads up. Oh, Debbie tells Neil.
Everybody knows the plan after Liz tells Debbie.
Yeah.
Fuck them both.
They're trying to sell Neil the okie doke, but he's not buying.
So Tribal Council. Wait, before we get into Tribal Council, though, we got a few wildlife shots to talk about.
Oh, do we?
I put the wildlife shots after Tribal Council on accident in my notes, so I almost skipped them. I'm glad I didn't, though.
That would have been tragic. I'm glad.
I don't know what we would have gotten so many emails from our pal Jeff Probst for doing this in the wrong order.
Jeff, you didn't need to email 4 times. I'm sorry.
He's so mad about it. Every subject line just got madder and madder. The first one was just like, "Hey, you forgot the wildlife shots," and then it was like, "You forgot the wildlife shots!" ! With 1 minute later. And then the next one.
It may concern. I was very excited to hear about the wildlife shots. But unfortunately, you omitted them from your episode. I will not be listening to any future episodes. Your pal, Jeff Probst.
So we got a frog, we got a crab, we've got a bird, we've got a snake, and my favorite, a sea urchin.
This sounds like a really good, Odd Group of Friends sitcom. Mm-hmm. The sea urchin is like the Kramer.
Sea urchins, I think, don't move so much, and I recall Kramer being very active.
So maybe more of a Newman, then, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but sea urchins are cool. So they would be no character on Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah, just none.
There's no one cool on that show. You know how every show has, the cool guy? Not Seinfeld. They're all the worst. That's a good show.
It is a good... Oh, wow, controversial opinion.
I know. Seinfeld, a good sitcom from the 1990s. At Tribal Council, Jeff Probst tries to get a feel of how this tribe is shaping up in this game, What alliances have been formed, how the brain label influences their game.
I like that this is the second straight week that we had, a weird disaster of a Tribal Council.
Yeah. Well, I guess the first wasn't really a disaster. It just ended up in a tie.
This was, just in terms of, Jeff asking people questions and people not being able to keep their fucking mouths shut.
Yeah, I know.
Peter's, so excited to tell everyone about how he's manipulated them.
Yeah.
Before they vote! What are they doing?
Yeah, that's... You really gotta find that balance.
Nervously looks at him what are you doing?
Yeah. You gotta figure out how to, manipulate and keep your mouth shut at the same time. Which Dr. President does not do. Neil says, maybe we each think we're the smartest person in the game. Which, he's got that right on.
That is
hit
the perfect
the money.
summation of this team. Everyone thinks they're the smartest.
And as it turns out, they are all the dumbest. Maybe not Neil.
No, Neil's pretty good.
Neil seems to be doing all right for himself, but God, everybody else is just the worst. Grandpa Joe is okay too. He hasn't done much to.
I think Aubrey's fine. I think really it's
Aubrey is fine too. I don't think she can last though.
Dr. President and Debbie are the worst.
Aubrey, I don't think Aubrey will outlast.
No, she hasn't done. You never know, but she hasn't done much to distinguish herself. She's just kind of there.
She had a nervous breakdown in the second episode, so that's all I know of her. And I can remember her name, which is more than I can say for anyone else in this game, except for, Scott Pollard.
Yes, I do know Scott Pollard. I know both his names.
Dr. President says, as an ER doctor, social interaction is what I'm a professional in, and then everyone laughs at him silently because they understand that you're not supposed to make a lot of noise at Tribal Council. Dr. President, I don't think I have to explain this to you. He also says that he takes Joe at his word because he was a cop, and Jeff points out that in the first Brain versus Brawn versus Beauty, Tony, who was also a cop, won, and he lied every half hour.
Yeah, why the fuck are you trusting the police, Peter? You are a black man, don't trust the police!
I don't think weapons are allowed on the island.
Police never lie, especially in interrogation. It's not a tactic that they use ever.
Oh, yeah. Dr. President says flat out that they are voting for Neil. Why? Why did he tell them all that? They weren't in trouble. That's a last-ditch effort, that play. And he's just no, but listen to this great plan we have. We're going to vote for Neil. And everyone's what?
Couldn't help himself.
Yeah. It's when, I don't know, he was just trying to make it more dramatic than it was. It was there was some boxing match a few years ago that ended, the ending was pretty bland, but the announcer was, super pumped about it and, tried to announce it like it was, a Muhammad Ali fight or something. It's oh, whoa, throwing all these punches, really excited. And then you, watch it and just this is just a normal thing. This will not go down in history, as evidenced by the fact that I can't remember who was in the match at all. That's what Dr. President was doing. He was that announcer, you know? Was that terrible metaphor not as terrible as I thought it was?
I don't think it's going to make for great podcasting, but you really tried, buddy.
I tried real hard. A for effort. Neil says before they go to vote that they will become a stronger team after this vote, and then says what stronger means will be determined later. So Jeff reads the votes. We got 1 for Aubrey, 2 for Aubrey, 1 for Dr. President, 2 for Dr. President, 1 for Liz, and a second one for Liz. So it's a 3-way tie. They go to vote again. Aubrey, Dr. President, Liz can't vote. Jeff reads the second round of votes, and all 3 of them are for Elizabeth.
I don't know why they voted off Liz and not Peter. It doesn't make any sense.
Me neither.
And I was bummed because I was ready to see Dr. President go home after his shitty performance.
Yeah.
Tribal, and then they just send Liz home. And I liked Liz. Why send Liz home? Liz was cool.
Because Debbie didn't like her?
I guess.
And apparently Debbie's in control on this tribe?
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than Dr. President being in control. He's the worst.
I don't even get why Debbie didn't like her. She had no reason. It wasn't for any real reason.
Because Debbie seems like an incredibly insecure person.
Could be. Liz, I mean, it could just be that Liz is, like, young and attractive. Like, that could be it.
Young, attractive, and smart.
And smart and confident, yeah. So it's like, oh, she thinks she's better than me, kind of thing.
I've analyzed water for 20 years. I know what I'm looking at. Let's do predictions. Who do you think is going to win the whole game?
I think that Neil is going to win the whole game.
I'm on board with that. Who do you think will be the next person voted out?
I think that Alicia will be the next person voted out.
That's the same thing I thought. And also, third prediction of this episode. Next episode, somebody gets medevaced. Who do you think that's going to be?
I'm going to say Jason gets medevaced.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I could see that. I'm thinking, though, obvious choice, Grandpa Joe. He's 72 years old, out in the South Pacific, or Southeast Asia, whichever. I don't think he's going to be doing well. Although he was working out on that raft this episode or last episode. So maybe he's doing all right for himself.
It would not surprise me if he was the one that got choppered out.
Yeah. I also think that either this next episode or the episode after that, there will be a tribe swap.
That makes sense.
So, some other notes. I really like the logo this year. It's a good logo.
What would you give it as like letter grade?
I would give it an A.
Wow. Is it A high? Can you get an A plus on this scale?
No. There's no A plus in Survivor.
You're giving it the highest grade that there is.
I'm giving it the highest grade, yeah. There's a lot of really good detail. I like the colors.
Jeff Rose would be that t-shirt that's like, and I don't give A pluses.
Can I get 100%? Yes, but
it's still.
I'm not giving you that A plus.
It's still just an A. You could have 115% in this class, and it's still an A.
Last week I talked about Mike Rowe's new podcast, and I was like, oh, each week it's going to be 5 to 6 minute episodes of people telling stories, and it's going to be great, and I'm really excited for it. I had to unsubscribe from it.
Oh, you didn't care for it?
I did not care for it. First of all, I was so excited about there just being one 5-minute episode every week. Like, that's so easily digestible. I already have so many podcasts to listen to. I can do 5 minutes a week. But he released like 6 or 7 episodes in the first day. Which, like, this is just a regular podcast now. And then it wasn't even people telling stories. It was Mike Rowe reciting stories. And I didn't know if they were nonfiction. I don't know if they were fiction. But I didn't like it.
You've lost us, Mike Rowe.
You
are no longer welcome on this program.
But if you do want to come on, that's
But if you want to
fine.
come on, you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
I forbid Mike Rowe from this program, but if he wants to come on, he can.
I mean, either way, we're cool with whatever.
We disavow Mike Rowe.
But also, like, if you want to come on, you know.
I mean, look, if you really want to come on, like, you can twist her arm. We'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have, like, you just move your hand near our arm. We'll do it. We'll bring you on.
Touch our arm and we'll go, okay.
Just, like, kind of tap our shoulder and we'll be like, oh, yeah, hey, what's up? It's our pal Mike Rowe.
It's our pal, Jeff Rose. Like you said in the email that he sent us.
Yes. Also important, remember to use that hashtag, Bananas on Survivor. We gotta get it done.
Make this happen. As Dr. President would say, yes, we can.
Yes, we can do this surgery.
Yeah, yes, we can give you this physical.
And all of his fellow doctors are like, do you need to, like, Obama won, like, 8 years ago. You don't need to keep doing this.
It was like a fun joke the first time that you did it, and like the day after the 2012 election when you did it. But like those are the only times it's been funny.
It's like he's going to be out of here in a matter of months. Like, calm it down. What are these kids going to think when they're born after Obama's out of office? And you keep saying this. Like, what are they going to think then? Think about the kids, Dr. President. I'm on the show is on Twitter, DYWSLN. Follow it so it looks like we're important. Also, my Twitter is Jake Scheidel. Thomas, do you want to give out your Twitter?
Tom, not Tom. That's all I'm gonna say. Tom, not Tom. Figure it out.
Yep. Let's see. Facebook, that's a thing. Did you watch Survivor last night? Search it out on the Facebooks. We also have that email that Jeff Probst likes to email. Did you watch last night at gmail.com.
Jeff Probst emails us, why shouldn't you?
Exactly. And if you do, person who's not Jeff Probst, remember to sign it your pal Jeff Probst so we know who's it coming from. Who it's coming from. There we go. What?
Sorry. No, I was trying to be sneaky about our outro, but apparently that's not gonna happen.
Okay, I'm gonna do the first part, and you're gonna do the second part. I'm not editing this episode at all. There have been so many things that I really should cut out, but I love them all so much.
Good. I like this. I like the way that we're doing this.
This is really great. All right. As always, have a great summer.
Deuces.
All right.
My life is brilliant. My love is pure. I saw an angel. Of that I'm sure. She smiled at me on the subway. She was with another man. But I won't lose no sleep on that. 'Cause I've got a plan. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful, it's true. I saw your face in a crowded place, and I don't know what to do, 'cause I'll never be with you. she thought up that I should be